In our headlines on this Tuesday afternoon, December 19th, here on the Korean Peninsula. The trilateral missile warning system shared by Seoul, Tokyo and Washington goes into effect as of today, amid Pyongyang's latest launches, including a Hwasong-18 intercontinental ballistic missile earlier on Monday morning. Meanwhile, Pope Francis formally approves blessings for same-sex couples in a remarkable shift in policy that pundits believe seeks to render the Catholic Church more inclusive while at the same time maintain its ban on gay marriage. An earthquake in China's Gansu province kills more than 100 people on Monday, and rescue operations on this Tuesday are hindered by frigid temperatures and rampant damage of communication and transportation infrastructure. Pyongyang's provocations will simply serve to inflict more pain on itself. Now, this is according to President Yoon Suk-yeol at a cabinet meeting on this Tuesday morning in response to North Korea's latest launches of ballistic missiles, including a Hwasong-18 that pundits believe has the potential to reach the U.S. President Yoon, for his part, added the latest acts of defiance provided Seoul, Tokyo and Washington with the opportunity to witness their real-time missile data sharing in action. On the diplomatic front, the president stressed the significance of Seoul's semiconductor alliance with Amsterdam, saying it opens up the doors for strategic partnership with a key European nation. And as mentioned earlier, as of this Tuesday, that is December 19th, the trilateral missile warning system shared by Seoul, Tokyo and Washington has gone into effect. According to the Defense Ministry here, the system seeks to identify and assess missiles test-fired by North Korea in real time to ensure public safety and coordinated countermeasures. According to Seoul's Defense Minister Shin Won-sik on Monday, data sharing on North Korean missiles had previously only taken place during joint military exercises. The three countries had agreed upon the need for such a system in November last year, as well as during the Camp David summit in August. Meanwhile, North Korea has formally acknowledged its testing of a Hwasong-18 solid-fuel intercontinental ballistic missile this past Monday. Our correspondent Kim Jong-gil reports.
It's official. It was an intercontinental ballistic missile that Pyongyang fired on Monday. The North state-run Korean Central News Agency reported on Tuesday that the regime on Monday conducted a, quote, launch drill of a Hwasong-18 solid-fuel ICBM. It also reported that the North's leader Kim Jong-un attended the launch and said its success sends a clear message to the hostile forces about what action and option North Korea is ready to take if, quote, Washington makes a wrong decision. The KCNA also reported that the loud advertising of the U.S. nuclear-powered submarine USS Missouri, which arrived in the South Korean port city of Busan on Sunday, is an extremely provocative move that's gravely threatening to North Korea's regional and environmental stability.
Pyongyang wants to say that it has the upper hand when it comes to the military issue on the Korean Peninsula. The regime also wants to stress that all ROK-US joint military exercises are to bring an end to the North regime. That's why it's saying it wants to strengthen its deterrence by taking strong countermeasures, including a preemptive nuclear strike. The Hwasong-18 especially is an ICBM, so the fact that Kim Jong-un was there might be aimed at sending some kind of message to the US.
A South Korean Unification Ministry official told reporters on Tuesday that it is North Korea that has been continuously developing various strategic weapons while stating its nuclear forces policy in its constitution. The official said Pyongyang tries to justify its nuclear missile development plans by shamelessly blaming the South Korea-US alliance while repeatedly ignoring UN Security Council resolutions. Kim Jong-gil, Arirang News.
The U.S. State Department has also denounced North Korea's latest display of defiance. Spokesperson Matthew Miller on Monday asserted that such missile activities by the regime undermine regional security and are flagrant violations of UN Security Council resolutions. He further called on countries to condemn North Korea's hostile weapons ambitions and urged China to take on a more constructive role in addressing the matter. In the Middle East, the Palestinian militant group Hamas is calling for a complete ceasefire in exchange for hostage release. Our Lee Sing-jae has the latest.
Hamas official Osama Hamdan on Monday reaffirmed the militant group's stance that any negotiations on a hostage release were off the table until Israel stops its war against Gaza. Speaking at a press conference in Beirut, Hamdan said Hamas is open to initiatives from Qatar and Egypt about a hostage exchange that would stop the armed conflict in Gaza. The comments came as the militant group on Monday released a minute-long video showing 3 elderly Israeli hostages pleading for their immediate release. The 3 hostages aged 79, 80, and 84 were taken to Gaza on October 7th. In the video, one of the captives said he, along with other elderly hostages, have chronic illness and that their conditions were harsh. International condemnation of Israeli airstrikes is growing as recent attacks at a hospital in Gaza killed a 13-year-old girl, while an airstrike at a UN-run school also killed 5 others. As the funerals for 3 Israelis mistakenly shot and killed by Israeli soldiers last Friday were held, Israelis also protested against its government, calling for a ceasefire for the release of the hostages. However, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is maintaining his hardline stance, saying the military will continue to fight until Hamas is eliminated and all hostages are released. Meanwhile, U.S. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin said he held talks with Israeli officials to get a clearer assessment on their military operations. Speaking at a joint news conference on Monday with Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant, Austin said that the 2 defense chiefs discussed pathways towards a future for Gaza after Hamas. Gallant, on the other hand, said while there is no clock on the phases of the war, the next step would be to have refugees who fled from Gaza to be able to return home. However, he stressed that at the current stage, refugees from northern Gaza would be the first to return home. 이승재, Arirang News.
In a tangible shift in policy, the Catholic Church has endorsed blessings for same-sex couples, provided they're not part of regular church rituals. Our Yoon explains.
Catholic priests will now be able to bless same-sex couples. On Monday, Pope Francis approved the declaration Fiducia Supplicans published by the Vatican's Faith Department that allowed the possibility of blessings for couples in irregular situations, including unmarried couples, divorces, and same-sex couples.
People with homosexual tendencies are children of God. God loves them. God is with them.
However, the Vatican made clear this is not an offering any type of ritualization or impression of a marriage. The document stated that the blessing must never be given in regular ritual ceremonies, including the sacrament of marriage, mass, or a civil union, nor can it be given in connection with them. Cardinal Victor Manuel Fernandez, who signed the ruling, said it does not violate the sacrament of marriage between a man and a woman, as it does not change or modify the Church's long-standing stance on marriage. But for the first time in the Catholic Church's history, the Vatican has opened itself to same-sex couples. It follows the Pope's continued commitment to reform and indicates a change from the Vatican's position in 2021 when it refused to bless same-sex unions. In October, the Pope indicated that priests could bless same-sex couples based on their judgment. However, conservative cardinals sought clarification on whether such blessings aligned with Catholic teachings. The Pope responded by emphasizing that marriage is exclusively between a man and a woman, and rituals implying in any other way should be avoided. Last Sunday, Pope Francis celebrated his 87th birthday, and according to religious experts, there is a prediction that, due to his ongoing health issues in old age, he may become even more proactive in Catholic reforms. Yoon, Arirang News.
Over 100 people have been killed by an earthquake in northwest China Monday night, and rescue workers now are racing against time and frigid temperatures to seek survivors. Our Jong-un reports.
A moderately strong earthquake struck the Gansu-Qinghai border region of China late Monday night. The quake occurred at a depth of 35 kilometers, with its epicenter 102 kilometers west-southwest of Gansu's provincial capital city, Lanzhou. According to state media, at least 111 people were killed and more than 230 injured. But official reports have not provided any information on any missing people in the quake's aftermath. Seismologists are reviewing available data regarding the earthquake's magnitude, which the U.S. Geological Survey put at 5.9. The European Mediterranean Seismological Center reported it a magnitude 6.1 quake, while Chinese state media said it registered at 6.2 magnitude. Additionally, Chinese state media reported that a total of 9 aftershocks of magnitude 3.0 and above were recorded before dawn Tuesday. China's National Commission for Disaster Prevention, Reduction and Relief and its Ministry of Emergency Management have activated a Level 4 disaster relief emergency response. China has a 4-tier emergency response system for meteorological disasters, with Level 1 being the most severe. Officials said there has been some damage to water, electricity, transportation, communications, and other infrastructure without providing further details. The disaster area is in a high-altitude region where temperatures of -14 degrees Celsius were recorded on Tuesday morning. Rescue efforts are underway to prevent secondary disasters caused by factors beyond the quake. 이은진, 아리랑 뉴스.
Korea's drone exports amounted to over $11.1 million this year. According to government officials, this amount is over 4 times higher than their goal of $2.3 million set at the start of 2023. The biggest buyers of these drones were the US, Canada, and neighboring Japan. 80% of the exports were actual aircraft, while the remainder was made up of services, hardware, and software. Meanwhile, Seoul and Beijing are looking to activate a hotline to better manage supply chain-related matters. According to Seoul's industry ministry, working level talks, that is, to this end, have been held here in the capital city for the first time. Among the issues addressed were those related to supplies of urea, as China recently suspended its exports of this compound, which is used to reduce carbon emissions in diesel vehicles like trucks. In other news, relevant government authorities and ruling party officials earlier on Monday pledged to ensure a safe and successful hosting of the Winter Youth Olympics in Gangwon-do province next year. Our Shin Se-byuk has more.
South Korea is pulling out all the stops to ensure a safe and successful hosting of the 2024 Gangwon Winter Youth Olympics just a month away. Relevant government officials and members of the ruling People Power Party met on Monday and analyzed the work underway for the Games, stressing the significance of thorough preparation.
To quickly address on-site needs, we've set up a command centre. We've also assigned general managers for each venue to better manage on-site situations.
Safety remains the biggest concern. That being said, some 250 medical personnel will be deployed at 13 locations, including the Athletes Village and competition venues. The command center will run an on-site response team for infectious diseases and implement a crowd control system to respond to all potential challenges. The organizer also vowed to tackle all conceivable issues ranging from freezing conditions to even bed bugs. With regards to culture, a diverse array of programs has been curated, featuring events such as a DJ skate night, lessons from Olympians, and snow tube riding. Culture Minister Yoon shared plans for on-air programs and YouTube videos showcasing the global sports event. For the convenience of athletes and spectators, 150 free shuttle buses will connect major transportation hubs in host cities and sports venues. From January 19th, around 1,900 athletes will participate in the 2024 Winter Youth Olympics for 2 weeks in Gangwon-do province, the first time the event is being held in Asia. Shin Se-byuk, Arirang News.
The former head of the main opposition Democratic Party of Korea, Song Young-gil, has been arrested over bribery charges. The Seoul Central District Court issued an arrest warrant back on Monday for Song, citing the risk of evidence tampering. The former 5-term lawmaker is accused of illegal political funding ahead of the 2021 party convention, including the distribution of 66.5 million won to DP lawmakers and regional party heads. Song, for his part, has denied all allegations. One man's waste may be another man's treasure, and the wisdom of these words are being tested to generate power from unlikely sources. Our Moon Hae-ryun explains.
When a car engine is started, there is vibration on the hood of the car, as well as a rise in its surface temperature of up to 60 degrees Celsius. This, according to scientists, is wasted energy, and they are now looking to develop technology to harvest that energy. Until recently, energy from vibrations and heat were measured separately and not deemed efficient enough to be a power source. But a team of Korean researchers have now succeeded in designing a hybrid energy harvester that combines piezoelectricity and thermoelectricity, resulting in higher final power generation. Attaching a brass plate to the surface of the heated area increases available thermoelectricity. The brass cantilever creates additional energy as its unattached end vibrates. This is the piezoelectricity. And the resulting amplified energy from both the heat and vibration is nearly twofold.
The energy is not simply 1 + 1 = 2, it's actually lower. But when we build an integrated system, the combination of the thermal and piezoelectric energy doubles its output.
The electrical energy produced simply from the hood of a running car is enough to operate the location tracking sensor of a smartphone GPS.
The significance in the hybrid energy harvester that we've developed is that electric energy can be converted from energy that otherwise goes to waste in our daily lives.
This is the first successful hybrid energy harvest where gathered waste energy from heat and vibration was able to successfully charge wireless electronics like a smartphone. Though still in its development stage, the team of South Korean researchers have taken the discovery to the next level, with an introduction in the international scientific journal Energy Conversion and Management. Moon Hae-ryun, Arirang News.
A rather frightening winter road hazard is black ice, as it's virtually impossible to detect until it's too late. That being said, researchers here have developed a way to prevent the formation of these dangerous conditions altogether. Our Jong-un tells us how.
In 2019, a multi-car collision involving around 40 vehicles occurred on the Sangju-Yeongcheon Expressway. The accident resulted in the loss of 7 lives and injured 30 people. A thin layer of black ice that formed on the road surface was identified as the cause of the accident. Invisible black ice poses a critical threat to drivers in wintertime.
If we say accident rates on dry roads are about 0.1, snowy roads could be about 0.5. When it comes to black ice, the accident rate spikes to around 0.8. Road ice formations are much more frightening than snow-covered roads.
While technologies such as installing heating elements to prevent road ice have been developed, they face limitations due to high cost and poor durability. South Korean researchers have developed a method using subsurface water to warm road surfaces, preventing the formation of ice. The new technology involves installing heating pipes beneath the road and using summer heat to continuously warm the water, raising the surrounding ground temperature. This accumulated heat is then used to supply warm water during winter, maintaining the road surface temperature at around 3 degrees Celsius to 5 degrees Celsius and preventing ice formation. Infrared cameras have confirmed that surfaces where these pipes are installed show increased temperatures above freezing.
This method uses minimal energy by simply circulating warm water through the pipes to prevent the formation of ice. This allows for less energy consumption and the advantage of accident prevention.
The research team claims that applying this technology, especially in accident-prone areas like bridges and tunnel entrances, could be more efficient and cost-effective, reducing expenses by a factor of 10 compared to existing technologies. The durability of the pipe installation method suggests that it could be applicable to major icy zones on highways, potentially aiding the prevention of large-scale winter accidents. Jong-un, Arirang News.
Let's take a look at the latest news in the world now. Japan's Nippon Steel announced on Monday it has secured a deal to buy US steel for $14.9 billion, including debt. When the deal is finalized, the world's #4 steelmaker, Nippon Steel, will increase its annual global crude steel capacity to around 100 million tons. Months after US Steel put itself up for sale, Nippon Steel beat its competition Cleveland-Cliffs and ArcelorMittal to acquire the over 120-year-old steelmaker. According to Nippon Steel, the agreed per-share consideration to be paid to US Steel shareholders represents a premium of 40% based on US Steel's closing share price of $39.33 on December 15, 2023. While the US Steel Workers Union expressed disappointment over the foreign ownership of the US company, Nippon Steel said all commitments with the US Steel employees will be honored. On Monday, a Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson reacted to the sale of military tactical equipment by the US to Taiwan. Speaking to the press, Wang Wenbin said China would take resolute and forceful measures to safeguard national sovereignty and territorial integrity. Beijing also said it'll take measures against the relevant companies involved in arms sales to Taiwan. The Pentagon announced last Friday approval for the $300 million sale of tactical equipment to maintain Taiwan's command, control, communications and computers, or C4 capabilities. The United States is bound by the Taiwan Relations Act to provide Taiwan with the arms of a defensive character. In the US, a powerful storm hit northeastern states on Monday, leaving at least 4 people dead. The storm also resulted in blackouts, cancelled flights and flooded roads as more than 13 centimeters of rain was dumped on parts of New Jersey and northeastern Pennsylvania and around 10 centimeters on other areas of the northeast. Wind gusts of up to 113 kilometers per hour were also recorded along the southern coast of New England. According to PowerOutage.us, more than 730,000 customers lost power across the region as of 5 p.m. local time on Monday. More than 500 flights were cancelled and thousands more were delayed. An evening dress worn by the late Princess Diana has been sold for $1.15 million at an auction in Los Angeles, setting a new record as the most expensive dress worn by Diana to be sold. The late Princess of Wales first wore the dress in 1985 in Florence, Italy. It was sold at auction for a final price that was 11 times its estimate, smashing the previous record of around $600,000 for a dress worn by Diana. The blue and black ballerina-length velvet evening dress was designed by Moroccan-British fashion designer Jack Azaguri. Kim Seong, Arirang News.
Hello, I'm Lee Ji-hyun with the latest weather updates. A severe cold snap continues to grip much of Korea, with cold wave alerts remaining in place in most of the central parts of the country. And of course, a strong wind is dragging down the feels-like temperatures, and we are in for a wave of snow this evening. Those of us in the western regions might want to use public transportation for a smoother evening commute. Jeollabuk-do province could see more than 15 centimeters of snowfall. Mountainous regions of Jeju Island are under a heavy snow advisory today. Afternoon highs should be a few notches higher this afternoon, Seoul topping out at 2 degrees, Gwangju at 5 degrees this afternoon. Sunny skies to start off the day, then skies will get cloudier as the day goes on. Along with snowfall tonight, there will be stronger cold front approaching the country, getting worse as the week goes on. So please stay bundled and take good care of yourselves. That's Korea for you, and here's a look at the international weather conditions.
And on that note, we end our Tuesday afternoon newscast. Thank you for watching and do stay with us for our panel session coming up next.